Good morning, everybody. It's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and it's 4 in the morning, and it came without a warning. Extra points if you can name that song. Anyway, so it's 4 in the morning. I did run a brush through my hair, and I thought I would go ahead and get my early morning book review out there and done so I can get to my cross-stitching. Yay! Okay, so last night I finished Return to Octavia. And let me get you a copyright date. You heard the rumor coming. 1964. 1964, Return to Octavia. Okay, so let me set it up for you. So this one we have Lee, and Lee has lived in New York for a long time. And she has a friend who's an actress, who's like a B actress and everything like that. And she gets summoned home to Octavia, which is a plantation in Louisiana. And so she goes back and she has her uncles and her cousins there and just friends of the family and everything like that. And the uncle has remarried to this really witchy lady by the name of Claire. And so Claire has decided to sell off part of Octavia because Octavia is just costing too much money to run, and they have to sell off part of Octavia. Well, that's like, ooh, you don't want to talk about that. I mean, it's the land. It's all about the land for these people. And there's a lot of talk of Civil War values, which I found a little bit offensive. You have to sort of, when you read vintage, you have to kind of take in the period there. And so they were talking about, at one point, they were talking about how this character should have taken the correct way out, which would have been to commit suicide, so as not to bring shame upon the family by going to jail and everything like that. And I thought, well, that seems a tad harsh. That seems a little, whatever. But anyway, so Claire gets killed, and Lee has to solve the mystery of who killed Claire. Now we have a murder that has taken place prior to Claire being killed, and this was several years ago, and the wife of one of the friends was killed in a hunting accident. And of course, everybody suspects that it was not a hunting accident, and they suspect that the husband killed her because she was cheating on him. But that's never been proven. It's just sort of an underlying tension bringer and everything like that. So story moves along, and we have our usual, look for clues. My favorite character was Cam, who was the actress friend of Lee, our main character. And Cam is she's flirting with everyone, she's drinking, she's having a great time, and she's the one that actually leads the sheriff by what she says. And it was cleverly done. She actually leads the sheriff to the correct conclusion by something that she says, because she's not, let me just lay it out for you. She's not familiar with the plantation. And so she was talking about something, and the sheriff went, that doesn't sound right. And so he actually went and investigated, and from that figured out who the killer was. Now, cop-outs on it. The killer is, once we finally get the killer revealed, the excuse for the killer is that he had lost his reason years ago. And he was a madman masquerading as a sane man, which I think is, that's a cop-out. He was just crazy. He was just nutty and everything like that. Because I think in this book, at least, you could lay out, especially with them talking about those Civil War values and everything like that, you could lay out a case that he was not crazy, that he knew exactly what he was doing. Anyway, I want to talk about shoes. This book had so much talk about Lee's shoes for some reason. We talked about what kind they were. We talked about whether or not they hurt her feet. We talked about high heels, low heels. We talked about canvas shoes. We talked about, there's this whole one section where they're going out in the rain and she's wearing blue slippers. And the guy that she's going out in the rain says, I found these old loafers for you so you don't have to ruin your blue slippers. And it was such a long section that I thought, are the blue slippers going to somehow impact the ending of this? I mean, is it going to be the blue slipper reveal or anything like that? Then she puts the loafers on, saves the blue slippers, goes to the other house. Then we have another long segment of her taking off the loafers and letting them dry and putting on the blue slippers. And then we have a lot of, she's complaining about her feet hurt because of the shoes that she's wearing when she's walking back and forth between the two plantations that are focused on it and everything like that. So many shoes, slippers. Every time she comes down the hallway, we've got slippers that we got to talk about. Are they white? Are they gold? Are they backless? Are they, whatever. And I don't know why. I've never read a book with so much focus on the heroine's shoes. It ended up not having anything to do with anything. I don't know. I guess the author had some sort of shoe fetish, I guess. I don't know. It says on the back, it was horror producing, spine chilling, and macabre. It wasn't any of those things. It was just, I gave it a 3 stars because it was dense, but it never really got boring. Yeah, I love the end. The end was one of those classic love scenes, and it was just, I went, oh. I was so happy at the ending, and I thought it was so dreamy the way that it was written and everything. I really loved that. So yeah, Octavia, Return to Octavia. If you get a chance to ever find it, I don't know if you ever will or not, if there are any more copies left out there. I found it in a thrift shop, of course. So what else can I say? Well, hanging in there with everybody else who's feeling a little bit down about the election. And my next book is going to be my next indie read. So I'm excited. I'm starting this one tonight. And I'm trying to get more indie reads so that I can review them on my channel and everything like that. And just out of curiosity, does anybody know how Threads works? Because I post something on Threads like, hi, I want to connect with writers and I want to connect with readers and everything like that, and I get crickets. And somebody else says, hi, I want to connect with readers and I want to connect with authors, and they get 1,000 people answering them. Is it me? It must be me. Of course, I'm so self-centered. I think everything revolves around me. But anyway, I will take my self-centered self and I will go in the other room and work on my cross stitch. And I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to thank everybody for saying hello. Please leave me a comment. You know how much I love the comments, and I will check you later.